Alright, how's everybody doing? It's been a little while since I put something out, but I'm going to be making this because there's been, again, another big increase in Smash Ultimate footage, which is really good. I got to go play the game on my own for a little bit. There's a selection of characters that I'm actually much more interested in now than I was before. But there's some Chrom stuff, and I kind of want to talk about Chrom because we see some interesting things in this video, as well as some interesting Isabelle things. This is footage uploaded by Beefy Smash Dudes, so I'm gonna have all of the Beefy Smash Dudes stuff in the description, like the channel and whatnot. But I imagine most of the people watching this video have watched Beefy Smash Dudes stuff, like at least something. So that's not really as vital. Either way, there will be like player information and stuff like that, but again, it's mostly Beefy Smash Dude stuff. Also, I'm not going to talk about colors because I don't really have that much to say. Sorry for all the people who watch this for the in-depth color analysis. All right. Also, like, just want to get into this because this is actually really weird. When I was at the Smash Ultimate event, I was at the King of Prussia one. I was at the event, and whenever you filmed something, you had to have like a shoulder or something in the video, at least like for a little bit, because that was just the rule. There was a lot of really weird rules at the Nintendo events, and one of them was the footage has to have a shoulder or like a person in it, at least for a little bit, which is kind of odd. We do see something also that's kind of odd. The gyroid. So Isabelle plants the gyroid and immediately interrupts it with the manual detonation. Like, this isn't Chrom running up and having it blow up. She does the manual detonation, even though Chrom was pretty close. Which makes me think that there's actually a way you can cancel the startup or like not the startup, the cooldown animation, either with specifically that or with like a dash back or something like that. Like, it's actually not that long. Like the planting animation, that is. That'd be similar to Villager. Villager's down B, like the actual planting doesn't last that long, and you can interrupt it with the fire hydrant, or not the fire hydrant. I'm in Pac-Man mode, with the watering can. We also just saw Isabelle's up smash. Isabelle's up smash is a little odd. There's some stuff about it that's really like good, and then there's another thing about it that's really not great. Basically, all of this, like the pole, basically grounded opponents. This up smash sends them nowhere, like 0 places. It does nothing. The sweet spot is the no symbol right here. Whether or not the game prioritizes the no symbol or the weak hit right here, in terms of like, if a character kind of can get hit by both, like a Bowser right here, like which one is that, which one does it prioritize? There's no real way to know that right now, but it seems like it's not that useful of a move. I don't think it can poke through platforms, so there's really no way to consistently get this up smash like sweet spot, especially with air dodges being slightly better in terms of actually landing with them. So yeah, there might be some use. If it can poke through platforms, it would actually be pretty useful because that strong hit is really strong. But yeah, we see Isabelle Nair, and that sends Chrom nowhere, even at like slightly higher percents. So you might be able to combo off of it, but I'm not sure at this low percent right here. But we do see Chrom forward air, which is something that you can get follow-ups off of. Not in this case, because Chrom burnt his double jump. Like, he just immediate double jump forward air. You can tell because he does, like, the front flip there. So he just, like, lands back on and jumps and goes for another one and doesn't get it because that's not a combo. But Isabelle doesn't do anything about it, so there you go. We do see something really awesome that I was mistaken about in the Roy video that I will talk about right here, and that is the forward air auto cancels. That is an auto cancel. I was worried Chrom wouldn't have that because technically his spacing options are better, so they might be like, well, no, you can't have an auto cancel because X, Y, and Z, and you're not allowed to have spacing and auto cancels. That's dumb. When obviously that wouldn't be the case. But no, this forward air does auto cancel, which means you can get a lot off of you can get more off of forward air than I thought. You can get forward air like grounded follow-ups. So forward air up smash might be a thing, which is really good. Like, that's a really nice thing to have. And then the other part of that is retreating forward air becomes much more viable because, like, you just retreat with it and they can't mess with that because it auto cancels. They might be able to whiff punish it, but it'd be difficult. Part 3 of interesting things that we see here today is we see Chrom's up B actually has armor. I have not seen, there might be a clip of it somewhere, but I have not seen Chrom's up B actually armor through anything until right now in this clip. And that's really good. The up B hitbox that Chrom has, the like the big swing at the start. Like, here, let's just slow this down so we can show. That up B hitbox is not that quick. So he jumps and does this up B. This little hitbox here, it's like frame 10 or frame 9, which is not that fast, but fast enough to combo into, which is pretty neat because it does a lot of damage. And you can get free stocks off stage. But yeah, that gets punished with the side B. Side B doesn't really get anything off of it. But yeah. Lanes with Nair. We see that Nair actually could like this Chrom could have definitely done like short hop forward air to follow up on it. Forward air because that's like an actual thing. But he doesn't. He encounters probably by accident, which sucks, but it's whatever. We do see another auto cancel forward air though, and we do see something really nice, which is jab, and that interacts with like the hitbox of jab interacts with the Lloyd rocket. Like the Lloyd rocket explodes because it got in contact with the move. So that happens partially because this is on a slant. Like the Lloyd rocket hitbox is actually like slightly higher. But you can do that with stuff like Marth down tilt or whatever, or Chrom down tilt for that matter. Which means that the gyroid can be dealt with if you have like a long enough disjoint to deal with it, like to disable it. But it explodes, and the explosion hitbox seems pretty big, so it's unknown to me whether or not that's actually going to be a viable thing. Although this jab is longer than the hitbox, so like this area right here is probably not that large. It's probably about the size of this. Probably reaches about where Chrom's arm is right here. But yeah, that's like a good way to deal with gyroid. We do see something very nice. Nice for me, not nice for Isabelle players. When you do side B with Isabelle, the grab box doesn't exist while it's just sitting here. You have to try and reel it in. And this Isabelle does not reel it in at all. This is such a great shot. This is, pictures taken moment before disaster. Look at this big beefy swing. Bow. It doesn't kill, but that's so funny to me. It does do like 18%. It does like 18%. This is, again, singles with items, so the multiplier isn't really existent. But 18% is really good. Like, really good damage for Chrom. I think he ran up and did down smash there. I haven't seen much of Chrom down smash, so I don't have much to say. It isn't really that notable of a move for Roy. It can jab reset at, like, low percents, but that's not super practical, because you'd rather just, like, get a falling nair so you can continue a combo regardless of whether or not they tech in a certain circumstance. And, like the damage increase you get by getting that jab reset is not worth dropping the combo if they actually tech. But Chrom does do up B here on a more relevant note. Chrom does up B here, and we get a good measurement of how high this up B goes, and it is right about to the slightly higher than this. And that's really good. Compared to Roy's reaches like right around here with no jump. So it definitely goes higher than Roy's does. So that's actually, that's nice to have. It's not super notable because we already knew that Chrom's up B went higher, but now we know exactly how much higher. It's still bad. Like, it's still a bad recovery, but Roy's recovery certainly isn't anything to write home about. So honestly, the downgrade might not even be that much. We do see, however, that Chrom does forward air and he fast falls it like a big dummy. He does his forward air. And he does it late. No, he doesn't fast fall. He just does it late so it doesn't auto-cancel. So you have to do the forward air frame perfect. You have to do it immediately out of a short hop. Or else you'll actually still have lag. Hops on the items. There's going to be a little bit of item stuff. And there's going to be a big old shoulder in the way in just a couple seconds here. Gets on the platform here. Does jab a couple times. We see F-tilt. Oh, no, never mind. Shoulder doesn't come for just like a little bit. Chrom does F-tilt on Isabelle's shield here, and Isabelle doesn't really do anything. In fact, she rolls back, like she picks a defensive option rather than a punish. Chrom's F-tilt is one of a select few moves that Chrom actually has that actually has like slightly higher range than Roy's. It does hit pretty early. Like the hitbox seems to come out pretty early in terms of like this little anti-air up here. So that's kind of neat. It might actually be pretty good for that. But you'd rather up-tilt, I think, anyway. But his F-tilt has slightly longer range, not just because there's no sour spot, but because the move is like actually longer. The animation is different and it has like a higher distance that it goes, which is nice. It might be a good like dashing, like dash back F-tilt kind of thing. Very, very nice spacing tool. because it also seems pretty safe. The Isabelle rolls and Chrom catches it with back air, and back air does like a lot. Roy's back air is very strong. I don't know if it would have killed here, but it would have sent further, and it probably kills earlier because balance purposes. But it's good enough. Like, being able to space it is enough of an upgrade, I think. It's more worth, to me, at least. It's debatable. Chrom does tech and wake up F smash, like a hero. We wake up F smash, and then here we see Chrom dash dance. So I think this dash dance is a lot more viable in defensive circumstances than offensive, because high shoulder. But mostly because in the context of like when you are dash dancing, you are doing it to bait out an option from another person and trying to whiff punish it. And because you can dash up anything in this game, whiff punishing is like much more viable. But that is like the purpose of the dash dance. I think Chrom's dash dance, because he can space his moves slightly better, it can be used defensively much more viably. Whereas Roy will have to dash in and get something. Chrom might be able to just like F smash max range and get a kill, which would be really nice. Like, that's really nice to have. That would make his punishes a little bit more consistent and a little bit more powerful, because Roy might not be able to get that F smash in that circumstance. Probably, I mean, like, if Roy has to dash up an F smash in a situation where Chrom can just F smash anyway and get a kill, that's another instance where Chrom's punish game is just slightly better. There's going to be a little bit of that. I think Chrom is, like, in terms of actual punishes, might be better than Roy because of it. We see Chrom do final smash. Nobody really cares. Silly Chrom, we don't care about your final smash. He does up B, makes it back from the volcano. Back air actually does like 9% here. It does 10%. It does 9.9. But that's mostly because it's staled. It usually does about 12, but it's been kind of staled a little bit, so it only did 9 in that circumstance. Oh, hey, look, it's the F-Zero character that will never be playable. Shoutouts to F-Zero only having 1 rep forever. See, whiff final smash there. Punishes with dash attack. Not that much going on, but we do see a shield break, and Chrom is going to charge up this neutral B, and it is good. It's the thing about Chrom's neutral B fully charged, or the thing about Roy's neutral B fully charged, is that it actually does self-damage. Like, once it's fully charged and you land it, you take about 5 to 10%. I think it's 5, but it might be 10. But you do 50%, and it usually kills at 0 under most circumstances. So pretty good punish at 0 when you get the shield break. In this case, Isabelle is at like 15-ish%, something like that, and Chrom charges his neutral B and has no self-damage, which is really nice. And it goes into the cool little animation there. It's really good. It's not practical, but not taking self-damage is like pretty neat. Like, that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing to have. Speaking of not nice things to have, Chrom does up B, and he actually doesn't go high enough to land on the stage. He just kind of like clips through it again. Roy's up B wouldn't have gone anywhere near this top part, but it's kind of tragic that Chrom doesn't get that. Oh, hey, look, it's deconfirmed. That's unfortunate. Anyway, Chrom is frozen here. What is that? I actually like what they did where it kind of freezes him in place. That's the assist trophy. I think that's kind of cool. All right. Gets grabbed there. This is interesting. All right, so we're just seeing a lot of nair to F smash. This nair has like no lag again, but we already knew that. So he does nair F smash, as we've been seeing. That was a down smash there, dash up down smash. So that's kind of neat. Here we see down throw. This is like the first time we've seen Chrom's down throw in like a situation that isn't really weird at lower percents. From my basic understanding with this down throw, you can do up air, which is guaranteed, definitely guaranteed, because it's like frame 5, it's really quick. Or you can do forward air, which is also pretty quick, but he's a little slow to do it. And the hit stun is not really there. Like, he starts falling. So what you definitely want to do is up air, because that will catch the Isabelle falling there, even if she can act out of it like faster than that. There's still combos to get out of their throws. It's just not as good as it's going to be in Smash 4, where Roy can do like F throw, nair, side B or whatever and put on 40%. That's not a true combo, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a lot more like down throw one hit because they changed F throw for all the Marths. But yeah, that's gonna end this. Hey, who's gonna win the sudden death? I ask because I already know. This is so brutal. You like put the sword in her eye. That's oh my god, it's coming out through the. Oh no 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 no. We can't have that on the screen. Get that out of here. That's not good. Oh no. I'm sorry to all the animal rights activists that had to watch that, but we do get to see a Chrom windscreen. I really like all the Chrom windscreens. Hello, Beefy Smash dudes. But yeah. Like a lot of interesting stuff in this match. We see something that I cared a lot about, which was that forward air auto canceling. And we see a lot that matters from a punish perspective, which is that neutral B charge up not doing self damage. So you can get your JV3s now. Shout outs. Oh, that's not relevant, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I still, here's the thing, right? Because now we're going to get into how I feel about Chrom as a character. Let's just be real here. There's no way a character like Roy, who people have been saying is top tier, can be similar to a character like Chrom, who people have been saying that bottom tier, and have that big disparity. That's absurd. That's a concept that doesn't exist. It just doesn't add up. Chrom's up B recovery is bad, but the thing about it is that you still have to handle. There are still certain characters that can't deal with it like effectively, and there's characters that need to have proper setup to do so, and it's bad. It's undeniably bad. But the other part of that is it's not like Roy's up B is anything to write home about. It's not. The difference is Roy's up B vertically is like horizontally is like a pretty solid mix-up, because if you do up B at a certain angle, you could either angle it upwards and drift to the ledge or snap to the ledge just by doing it forward, which is a pretty solid mix-up. It's a nice thing to have in terms of like making it like being able to come back safe. Chrom's mix-up to compare it is I'm just going to try and drift and maybe air dodge. Now here's the thing. Directional air dodge and Roy's up B have like horizontally have very similar distances. Roy's up B goes a little further and is much more safe because like it's an up B. It's like it's gonna snap to the ledge. It doesn't run out of. It's not directly punishable the way an air dodge is. But like Chrom is not without vertical options. The problem is his horizontal options. The problem is his horizontal options are one, it's air dodge, and two, not very good. It's bad. It's not what you'd want from a character that is supposed to be good. And while I don't think Roy is top tier, because I think that's from a design perspective, I think that's insane. I think that concept is ridiculous because there are characters that do what people are saying Roy should do in this game better. Characters like Falcon, who just have like they can do the get in your face game, but they can do it better because they have the frame data to do it. Roy doesn't have that. Roy has to play like a very awkward spacing game, and that's not the thing that people value about top tiers, right? Is how much effort they have to put in. Characters like Cloud are considered top 2 because all you have to do is charge limit and you're winning. Roy does not get that luxury. Roy has to like very, very, very carefully space a lot of his things to make sure that you're getting the sweet spot hits, say on shield, but also being able to get follow-ups off of it, which isn't as important as being safe. But Roy's spacing game is very difficult, and it'll probably be easier in this game because you'll have more leeway since the landing lag is less, but you can't just get in people's face and expect to win. In fact, you'll lose every time to the majority of the cast. So I think because Chrom will be better at that because he doesn't have to space around weak hits. And even though Roy's weak hits are longer, and even though those weak hits I prioritized in terms of like which hitbox hits when, which is like if something hits a shield and the weak hit hits the shield, it's the weak hit. If the weak hit and the strong hit both hit the shield, it's the strong hit. And if the weak hit hits the shield, but like only the slightest bit of the strong hit hits the shield, it still registers as a strong hit, which is how you would want to space that move. But because hurt boxes are more specific, like in terms of how the character is shaped, it's not as easy to get situations like that, where it's like, well, I landed the weak hit, but because the slightest bit of the strong hit is there, it was the strong hit. You see it more with F Smash than you do with anything else in terms of Roy stuff. But Chrom doesn't have to worry about that. He can just kind of throw out the moves and it's properly space them. And because he has like Roy landing lag, which is something Marth and Lucina do not have, he's going to be very obnoxious with it. His jab is a very obnoxious move. His forward tilt is a very obnoxious move. It ends super quickly. It's honestly, I compare it to a Belmont forward tilt. Less range, but like pretty much equally as safe if you space it properly. And like Chrom's anti-airs and like options in terms of that are much better because the Belmonts have to like aim their anti-airs, and that's not as easy. Do I think Chrom will be good? No. Do I think Roy will be good? Not really. I think Roy will be a good character. I think you'll be able to go to a tournament and use him and like do well, but I think the same thing about Chrom, and I think the same way about well over half the cast in Smash 4. It's not hard to be viable in these kinds of games, in these newer Smash games. It is hard to be top tier. It's very hard. And Roy doesn't have much of anything to shape him as a top tier character. I mean, there are counter arguments to that. Like, there's like, well, I mean, if you look at his landing lag and you look at how safe he is on like shield, like he's X, Y, and Z. I did see a measurement from someone that said Roy's forward air was plus 10 on block, like on shield, which is just an absurd concept. That's not that's not a thing. That's not true. In order for like something that's plus 10 on block is like Fox auto cancel back air super late in Smash 4. That's plus 10. Roy's forward air is not equivalent to that. It's not. The thing that's going to make it safe is the spacing, not because the landing lag is less. And the decrease in landing lag is nice, and it makes it safer, but it doesn't make it safe. Like, you can't just run up and do it. You'll still get shield grabbed, you'll still get smacked, you'll still probably lose a stock. But yeah, honestly, the move that people aren't talking about that I feel like is very worth noting in terms of Roy and Chrom is Nair, because that move has very little landing lag, and because of that, the first hit of Nair spacing, because the strong hit has been extended, spacing first hit Nair is actually really good, because you can get grab off of that, and you can get full combos off of that, and that would make Roy better than Chrom, even on its own, because Roy, like Chrom gets that strong hit the whole time, but the weak hit of Nair is so small, and you can space it so easily in terms of like weak hit, strong hit, that the extra range doesn't end up mattering that much. And again, the decrease in landing lag makes it just very, very safe. Not always safe, very safe. Important to note. Doesn't mean that you can just throw the move out point blank and expect to get wins. That's not what you can do. But yeah, I suppose what I'm trying to say is do your own lab work. And this is, again, let's get into another tangent here. If you see something on the internet that says X thing is X frame, go and figure it out for yourself. Don't just assume that that's like, oh, okay, that's fact now. That's not gospel truth. You like, stop and put the work in for yourself. It takes 10 minutes to find footage of a certain move on the internet, break it down frame by frame, and be like, okay, it's actually this frame, and okay, it's actually this safe. And then, again, going back to that plus 10 thing, we don't really know that much about how shield stun works in this game. And we don't know how to do frame perfect punishes, and we don't know what works and what doesn't. So to summarize, Chrom is interesting, Roy's probably better, Fair is not plus 10, and this character is pretty good. Don't believe the hype, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to be that dude that's like, oh, Roy actually sucks, because he definitely doesn't suck. He has been massively buffed. It's kind of absurd the amount of increases in terms of like viability that he's gotten, but that doesn't save Roy. Roy needs a lot to be a top tier. He needs better frame data in terms of like grounded and aerial, something better than frame 5, because the majority of the cast that doesn't have a sword has something better than frame 5. So yeah, you're still going to have to play your kind of awkward spacing game in order to do well at higher levels, and you can't just mindlessly rush people down anymore. Or not anymore, because you never could, but you can't do it in this game. You can't. It's slightly better. Like, you won't get punished as hard, but you'll get punished. Like, you're still going to get hit. You're still minus. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Smash Bros. And Chrom in general, and Roy at the same point. I might do a video on like how to measure frame data in YouTube videos, because I think there's a lot of people who just don't know how to do it. So if you actually watched all the way through this video, please let me know if you're actually interested in that. But that's about it. Again, like everything's in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.